Hey everyone. Rather than have a live reaction to this on stream like I normally would, Behavior had the sheer audacity to release this on my day off. So rather than wait a day, or rather than read through and then let everyone know what my thoughts are after the fact, I'm just gonna do a reaction here right now. I'm just gonna record this and we'll see what's going on. I ended up reading ahead a little bit, and I'll let you know what point I've gotten to when we get there. Overhaul system TLDR. It was a lot of perks to unlock with a lot of things that you had to spend blood points on, and it was taking a long time to get there, so they reduced a lot of it seemingly through this system where whenever you prestige a killer, prestige 1 on that killer, say Trapper, will unlock prestige or tier 1 agitation, brutal strength, etc. on every single killer. Same thing with tier 2, tier 3. So if you get prestige 3 on Trapper, congratulations, every killer you own now has automatically unlocked for them as part of an available to use perk right then and there, agitation, brutal strength, etc. So legitimately, that's actually quite cool. So I'm a big fan of that. No more resets. Yeah, literally, pretty much just exactly what I said. Endless prestige, because there's no reason not to prestige anymore. Whenever you hit level 50 on the Blood Web, you just automatically prestige no matter what. This means that you can prestige infinitely, no big deal. That means they're also going to be pushing back the cosmetics that you would get. Instead of head and then body and then weapon, it's like you get the head at prestige 3 or 4 or something like that, and 7 and 8, whatever. No, it's not important. Alright, so here we are. Unlike before, the Shrine of Secrets would offer teachables. Subsequent tiers of that perk will also begin appearing in the Blood Webs. You can purchase the perk again to increase its tier. Works seamlessly with the prestige system. After purchasing a perk you've already unlocked, the prestige will instead increase its tier. Okay, sure. Whatever. That's not any of the spicy stuff. Transitioning to... oh, okay. This is... So, those who reach Prestige 3 before the update will receive a special prestige icon to recognize their achievements. So... Cool, I guess. So if you prestige 3 a character, there's an icon that you get to keep on your character. Not a perk, or not a charm, just a little icon next to their shit. Cool, I guess. Matchmaking incentives. Matchmaking has been a major focus. Asymmetrical game. Yada yada yada. Okay, yeah, so... Yeah, long story short, if there's not enough survivors, there will be a bonus blood point incentive to get more people to play survivors. Same with killer. If there's not enough killers, there's now going to be a blood point incentive for killer. Okay. This is the stuff that I have not skimmed over at all, so I wanna take a look at this. Some of the most constant feedback we received centers around the perk meta, handful of perks, dominant usage. We've addressed individual perks through various updates using the patented behavior method. Put a band-aid on it. Hope that everything works best. In this update, we are reworking, rebalancing 39 perks. Okay, cool. Sure. Generate... Ooh, alright, this is spicy. When we were looking at perks most used by killers, is a very clear trend. Any perk that helps prevent generators from being powered, slowdown perks, are favored. Corrupt, Pop, Scourge, Hook, Pain Resonance, Ruin, etc. Many players feel like the generators are powered too quickly without these perks, so we knew we needed to look... Ooh, they're gonna slow them down. Ooh, we increased the time it takes to power a generator to 90 seconds, up from 80 seconds. That... let me finish the read. The time it takes to complete a generator hasn't changed in a long time, but it's clear that they are being powered quicker than we'd like. By slowing them down slightly, we'd hope to give the killers a bigger window to interrupt survivors, particularly at the beginning of a trial. Kicking at a generator will now instantly remove 2.5% of its maximum progress. Interesting. Interesting. Alright, so with 90 seconds, that's going to mean... Hold on while I try to math directly as a live reaction. 90 seconds, if 10% is 9 seconds, 5% would be 4.5. So every time you kick the generator, it will regress the generator 2.25 seconds. Neat. Sure. This change makes kicking generators more meaningful. Let's be honest, not that meaningful. Even if Survivor stops it from regressing shortly after, you'll still have to spend 3 seconds as a killer to kick the fucking generator. So even then, it's not worth it. The killer's actions has to be more time rewarded than the survivors. Every second of a killer's time is 4 seconds of survivor times. You spend 3 seconds of your time to kick a generator, you're only regressing at just over 2 seconds. I think it's actually a little bit less than 3 seconds for the kick. But regardless, this genuinely would not be worth it. I still wouldn't do this unless I had perks that rewarded kicking a generator. But yeah, I mean, overall, interesting. No survivors are going to be happy about this. There's already... I think this is this is just a nice killer thing. And admittedly, I think the killers did need a little bit something. Because when survivors were doing well, survivors dunked on killers. I don't think that this is the change that they should have done. Personally, I think that they should have addressed map spawning instead of spreading survivors out across 4 different corners of the map, so by the time you found 1 survivor and downed them, 3 other non-pressured survivors immediately would finish their generators. I don't think that this is really going to change a whole lot, to be honest. There will be some clear instances where this saves the gen from being done, but I don't think that this is actually going to do a whole lot to help out the killers. Just my unsolicited opinion. Average kill rates, how many survivors are killed on each trial, on average, are a little lower than we'd like. Sentiment echoed by many community members. To ensure the killer feels like an unstoppable force to be feared, Sure, okay, you know what, I won't even comment on it. We're making slight improvements to many aspects of killer gameplay. I mean, like, we all know that it's just like another nerd on the internet, right? Like, no one actually feels like an unstoppable force that needs to be feared, right? Like, we all understand that we're playing horror-themed freeze tag the game, right? I mean, like, no one actually feels like this, right? No one genuinely gets upset about comments like this. Oh well. We reduced the time it takes to break walls and pallets by 10%. Perfect. Walls and pallets? That's actually going to be interesting. Generators can also be kicked to 10% faster than before. Oh, thank you very much. They read my mind. So yeah, there's now 1.8 seconds. 1.8 seconds to save 2.25 seconds. I still don't think that that's a worthwhile trade. But again, it's just notably a better change. The walls and the pallets, I'm not sure that I would have done this with the pallets, to be honest. I would have done this with walls for sure. Walls, 100%. The pallets, I'm not super sure that I agree with this. Unless they include, unless they have a nerf to brutal strength or something, I don't know. Well, these changes may seem small, a small fraction of a second can be, yep, I hard agree. Next, we've reduced the cooldown for success. It is a good day to be killer right now. I mean, I'm not a killer, but this is interesting. They have just given an overall buff to killer across the board. Successful basic attacks by 10%, now 2.7 seconds, previously 3 seconds, and reduce the duration of survivor's speed boost. This is actually very, very large. Moving forward, survivors will gain slightly less distance upon being hit. You'll also hear my bird in the background. He hears me talking, and now he's really upset about it, so I apologize. They'll gain slightly less distance upon being hit, making it more difficult for them to run long distance. So this doesn't neuter Shift W. I still think that, like, W gaming is still going to be objectively very, very powerful, but I would be interested to see overall how much time is saved. Because approximately from a successful killer hit with the speed boost and the cooldown required without perks, assuming the survivor just holds W, it takes approximately 22.5 seconds for the killer to catch back up and get another successful hit. So I'd be interested in how much time this actually shaves off. Finally, we've tweaked Bloodlust to increase the power quicker than before. In most changes, Bloodlust does not activate. There are rare cases where it can be necessary. The long build-up often leaves the killer in a bad spot, even if they eventually get a hit. We're adjusting the Bloodlust tiers to activate after 15, 25, and 30 seconds, rather than 15, 30, and 45. The first tier of Bloodlust does not change. It will not be any more prevalent in an average trace. I actually disagree with this entirely. Like, if you are activating Bloodlust in a chase, that means that you have fucked up severely. Legitimately, if you were receiving 30 seconds, 45 seconds in a particular chase, you're already making a mistake as a killer. Like, genuinely. You are not ending the chase or making any meaningful progress in a way that a skillful player would be performing it. Not in my opinion, right? I genuinely don't think that they should have anything beyond Bloodlust 1, because all it does is reward bad decision making. But again, that's just me. I'm just some random asshole on the internet. Yeah, this is interesting. Generators being kicked faster, I like. walls being kicked faster. Honestly, what I would do is I would actually rather change this instead of pallets being 10% faster. I would actually make walls 20 or even 30% faster, right? Like, because oftentimes kicking down a wall is like a complete waste of time, except for like two walls on some maps. But yeah, I think that the pallets being kicked in combination with the basic attacks and the reduced duration of Survivor Speed Boost, this is actually going to be quite significant. Yeah. Alright. On the Survivor side, there's a clear preference for perks that grant second chance. But, alright, so I think we're just getting into the perk stuff then. I don't think that there's going to be... Wait a minute! Hold on, I just skipped ahead. The benefit of these second chance perks is how it helps prevent unfun situations, namely being camped or tunneled out of the game repeatedly by being targeted after being unhooked. In order to incentivize meaningful change to the meta, it's clear we needed to address these controversial tactics. Second chance perks should be nice to have, not essential to ensuring enjoyable gameplay. Moving forward, survivors will receive a 5-second endurance effect after being unhooked, giving the unhooked survivor an opportunity to reach a nearby window or pallet, or another survivor to position themselves for a protection hit. Additionally, the I'm sorry. Babysitter value, let's fucking go! Additionally, the unhooked survivor will receive a 7% haste effect for 5 seconds. That brings them up to, I think, a 4.25 killer. So you'd like move faster than Michael Mookers in tier 1 for 5 seconds. Ready to catch, encourage the killers to shift. Okay. Both effects will be cancelled prematurely if the unhooked survivor performs what we will now call a conspicuous action. These interactions, other than being chased, will improve. Alright, repairing the generator, healing yourself, cleansing, saboing, unhooking. Yeah, so basically things that would have cancelled out. Decisive strike before. Conspicuous action. With these base changes, we hope survivors will switch up their perk loadouts without fear that camping and tunneling will cut their next match short. Let's be alright. I think we can all agree. Let's be completely fucking honest. 5 seconds is not gonna do shit. It's not gonna do a goddamn thing. Genuinely, earnestly, like, without doubt, it's not gonna do a goddamn thing. If a killer is intent on tunneling you, this will not do anything. Will not do a singular instance of absolutely anything. Though, it may actually encourage some people to not necessarily bring borrowed time, right? So, maybe that's a good thing, maybe that's a bad thing. I think this means that in instances of in-game collapse, which in my opinion would probably be like the most beneficial reason to bring borrowed time. In in-game collapse, the gate's open, you're right by the exit gate, survivor comes in to try to help you. I think this is where this is going to come in clutch, right? And genuinely, I think that's where it needs to be, right? That's like the prime example of, fuck, I wish I'd borrowed time. If a killer's at 2 generators left and they're just wanting to secure a singular killer, or a singular kill, this will not do shit. This will not do a singular thing. But then again, maybe the original borrowed time wouldn't have either, so, I don't know. Meta perk changes. Oh, Jesus Christ. Alright, give me just 1 second. I'm actually going to go grab my bird because he's crying desperately in the background and it's actually distracting me. I'll be right back. Alright, I'm back. Sorry about that. I'm going to put up a bird tax picture on the screen. This is my sweet boy and he was upset that I was in the other room, so thank you for understanding. Moving on. For this update, perk changes fall into one of 2 categories: meta perks that are used too often and non-meta perks that have a similar purpose that aren't used very often, mostly because a lot of them are just kind of poopy. They're just kind of bad and bad. Yeah. We understand that many of you have grown attached to your favorite perks and loadouts. Unfortunately, shaking up the meta inevitably leads to a few changes. Rest assured, the goal is to provide alternatives, so on and so forth. For killers, Barbecue and Chili, Hex Ruin, Pop Goes the Weasel, Corrupt Intervention, Tinkerer, Hex No One Escapes Death, Scourge Hook. For survivors, Dead Hard, Borrowed Time, Decisive Strike, Iron Will, Self-Care, and Spine Gel. Alright, here's some grass saying, alright. I'm going to make a couple quick predictions as to what's going on here. For Barbecue and Chili, this is the one that I think is like so interesting to me. Because the fact that we're gonna live forever is also on that list leads me to think that they're going to fuck with the blood points aspect of that. Now, with the change that they're making, it would make sense, but like that is the entire reason without a doubt that he fly. Without a doubt that people run barbecue and chili is it's for the blood points. It's just for the blood points. For Ruin, grabbing my bird before he attacks my cat. With Ruin, I think what they're gonna do is it's like behavior has a big tendency to just tweak numbers. So I think a lot of these are just gonna be number tweaking. Either duration's going down, the actual effect itself going down or up, so on and so forth. I think that's what's gonna be most of these, with a few exceptions for just actual overhauls of the system. I think they're gonna remove the blood points on it, or they're gonna reduce it. Current effect upon hooking. Yeah, sure. This perk is incredibly popular, not because it's particularly powerful, but the huge amount, of blood points that it provides. Choosing going to match without it massively slows your progression. We don't want blood points to be the driving factor behind perk choices, so we'll be removing the blood point bonus. Fucking rip. Barbecue and chili will never be run ever again. I'm calling it right here. This will go down to like one of the least used perks in the entire game, without a doubt. While we understand this change may seem shocking, please understand that we also did other stuff to reduce the grind. Sweet boy, I am trying to do a video right now. Can you? I have placated him with some food, so he is now snacking away. We've reduced. Keep in mind that we've reduced the grind by about 75%. I believe this is a necessary step in order to make other aura rating perks more appealing, as blood point gain will no longer be a deciding factor. God, how do I feel about this? I agree? Do I agree? I don't know. See, like, I think the big issue with this is, for me, as a player who has several thousand hours in the game, oh yeah, great, perfect, love that. That's actually incredible, right? Because I have sunk the time into the game. I already have several killers or survivors that have all the perks and or have prestige level 3, which is going to impact the rest of my playable characters. This will not do a damn thing for new players. As a matter of fact, I think this actively hurts new players. That says like, hey, you know what? Like all these people that have been on the job before you, we're gonna take care of them, but you'll definitely be taken care of eventually, probably. But in the meantime, just go ahead and slog it out, right? Understand that you're not getting any new blood points right now, so just go ahead and slog that out. I think that this is a slap in the face to new players. But if you have several thousand hours in the game like me, hooray. What an incredible day. Ruin. Listen, we all know what these perks do. They're popular for a reason, so I'm just gonna skip this part. Massive part of Ruin was not having to stop and kick generators, as well as the ability to passively regress them from a distance. The aspect to make Ruin unique slowdown perk, we're not looking to change them. To bring Hex Ruin in line with other perks, we're reducing regression speed to 50, 75, 100%, from 150 to 200%. Exactly what I mentioned before. This will now reduce its power without destroying its primary appeal. After Survivor is killed, oh, wait, what? After Survivor is killed, Hex Ruin will automatically deactivate. But you'll still be able to snuff the totem, right? You'll still be able to snuff the totem, right? Unless they're just changing the name. No. If this is just going to be standard until the first person is dead, then this will actually still be pretty decent, I think. But if you can still cleanse the totem, this is a worthless perk now. This 100%. This is just a dead perk. No one will run this. No one ever will run this. Whenever, like, think about it. Think about the last time you're like, oh shit, Ruin, and then you look up in the corner and you're like, oh whatever, it's yellow Ruin. No one cares. This is a dead perk. Rip, dead, completely dead Ruin. I'm getting the feeling that all of the gen slowdowns they're going to absolutely obliterate, because they think that the extra 10 seconds is going to be this huge, like, game-changing ordeal. I don't think that it's that big of an ordeal. Pop Goes the Weasel gives the killer a controlled way to remove significant progress from a generator of their choosing. Given that kicking a generator now removes 2.5% of its progress by default, we decided to tone down some of the numbers to compensate. It will now remove 20% of the generator's current non-total progress. I mean, that's fine. That's, like, only a 5% change. I think that's totally fine. This is reasonable. Yeah, this is completely reasonable. Matter of fact, this is only a 2-second nerf. And with the change to it being the 2.25 second buff to the kick, this actually received a buff. This actually received a buff. 25% of 80 seconds, thank you, text message, 25% of 80 seconds is 20 seconds. 20% of 90 seconds is 18, but also factor in that 2.25% kick from a higher number. Pop Goes the Weasel is actually stronger now. Pop Goes the Weasel is genuinely stronger, only like by like a second or two. But this this isn't this isn't the nerf they think that it is. But if they are doing that just to help bring it in line, I like, as opposed to the 25 seconds, then that makes sense. But this is this is a buff. This is 100% a buff. Corrupt Intervention. Oh my god. This perk makes the beginning of a match more manageable, forcing survivors to extend deeper into the map before repairing a generator, which could have also just been fixed by adjusting survivor map spawns. Whatever. Moving forward, this perk will deactivate once a survivor enters the dying state. We believe this change will keep Corrupt Intervention effective in helping the killer build early game pressure. Rip, it's dead. Rip, it's dead. This actually punishes great killers and rewards killers that are newer or less experienced. Which, maybe that's the direction that they want to take Corrupt Intervention. But yeah, basically, long story short, I think that we should start speedrunning who can get the shortest use of Corrupt Intervention. Put a Billy with Lethal Pursuer and see if we can actually just genuinely have a 5-second Corrupt Intervention. I think that that would be fucking hilarious. Tinkerer. Tinkerer is a popular choice for information it provides. We nerfed it from 90% at one point, and then we brought it to, or was it 85%? Anyways, I can't remember. It used to be a lot worse. Now it's actually pretty good. Popular choice. Being able to prevent a generator from being powered is a game changer, particularly on killers with high mobility. It can, however, become a little oppressive when paired with certain regression perks. Therefore, Tinkerer can now only activate once per generator with the base charges increased to with the base charges increased to 90 killers have extra time to approach. I don't hate this. I don't hate this. I think that this is reasonable. Yeah, I mean, I think that's fine. Yeah, I genuinely think that's fine. That's actually not. All right, hold on. All right, chat, prepare yourselves. This perk makes for a very effective comeback tool, though it falls out of favor in high-skill games. Wonder why? We like the way Noed encourages survivors to preemptively cleanse totems, so we're not looking to weaken its direct strength. Instead, survivors will now see the Hex Totem's aura within 4 meters upon activation. This range increases to 24 meters over the course of 30 seconds. We believe this change will keep Noed a strong choice for in-game builds while encouraging survivors to find a totem and attempt the last second save. You know, I don't hate that. I don't hate that at all. Actually, you know what? Genuinely, I think that that's actually quite good. Yeah, no, I don't mind that at all, because it's still just going to depend on lucky placement. If you get unfortunate, I mean, genuinely, it's the exact same thing before. There's going to be a lot of instances where Noed gets no use at all because it spawns directly next to somebody, or the killer's in chase with an injured survivor and then it pops, so they don't really get the use out of that. I think that this is actually probably the most elegant solution that they could have thought of. Now, I cannot fucking wait until this changes, or this is bugged, and it actually immediately shoots up to 70 meters of range immediately, or activates prematurely, which would defeat the entire purpose of Noed, because then they would just cleanse a Dull Totem and then it'll spawn somewhere else. I cannot wait to see how this gets bugged and fucked up. More likely than not, it's just not going to have its range increased. Pain Resonance. So for those of you that don't know, this is relatively new, like within the last year. Whenever you hook somebody on the Scourge hook, the generator with the most progress explodes. If anyone's actively working on it at the time, they scream, so on and so forth. Most recent addition to the meta, Pain Resonance allows the killer to remove a sizable chunk from the most progressed generator simply by hooking a survivor. Loud noise notification also allows the killer to disrupt the survivors before they continue repairing, unless they know what they're doing and they just stop working on the generator briefly as somebody has get hooked, and then they don't scream at all. With that in mind, we're removing the loud noise notification. Instead of exploding, the affected generator will now spark upon losing progress, and the survivors will no longer scream. We will believe... So, instead of exploding, the affected generator will now spark upon losing progress. Survivors will no longer scream. I believe this will ensure Pain Resonance remain a strong regression perk while limiting its informational aspect. So, okay, yeah, sure. I mean, this is fine. Genuinely, this is what was happening in most, like, higher skill games anyways, is survivors wouldn't scream because they would let go of the generator at the last second. This is fine. This is fine. So ready. Hold on. Let me drink some coffee before I read this. I'm so fucking ready for it. Give me 1 second. Okay. All right. I just had to get the wiggles out. All right. Dead Hard is by far the most used perk by survivors, and it's easy to see why, right? Yada, yada, yada. There are two main ways Dead Hard is used: to dodge a hit, reasonable, and for distance, the absolutely more powerful way. In the latter case, there's not much a killer can do. Therefore, Dead Hard... What did I say? What did I say? I said this on stream the second they announced it. It's going to provide the endurance effect for 1 second when activated. If you time it right, it'll prevent the hit and gain a movement speed boost. This will remove Dead Harding for distance and make it solely used to dodge hits, which killers can anticipate and even bait accordingly. I like that change. I like that change. I'm sorry. Like, listen, I know that every Survivor main in the world is screaming right now. I don't care. I'm sorry, I don't care. I genuinely don't care. I actually think that this is a fucking phenomenal perk, or perk change. I think that that's a great thing. And also, legitimately, you know, actually, hold on. Let me say one caveat there. The only thing that I'm going to be upset about is the TikTok videos that I see of people that'll click their flashlight, turn around, Dead Hard past them, still dodging the hit, but then it's also just really funny because that small little distance and then they get to drop the pallet on the killer, or better yet, the people that Dead Hard, but then they fuck it up and they just headbutt a wall. And then they go down immediately afterwards. Rip. Oh, I'm actually gonna miss those. As far as mechanical balancing, I think that this is totally fine. I think that that's totally fine. Decisive Strike. One of Decisive Strike's main appeals is the efficacy at preventing tunneling. In light of the upcoming base game changes, we expect Decisive Strike to drop in usage slightly. Why? They didn't... Hold on, am I missing something? Or are they exclusively talking about the 5 second borrowed time? The 5 second borrowed time and like the slight speed burst. Is that all? That's what they're saying, and they're anticipating Decisive Strike going away? Did I miss something? Did I just miss something huge? Maybe I missed something really substantial, but this Decisive, there's no way. For the most part, we find the perk to be healthy for the game, easily avoidable for killers who choose not to tunnel an unhooked survivor. That said, at the end of the match, there's often nothing a killer can do to prevent a survivor from Decisive Strike, from escaping. Moving forward, Decisive Strike will now deactivate once the exit gates are powered. In addition, the stun duration has been reduced from 5 seconds to 3 seconds. We'll also be simplifying the description of the perk Decisive Strike will now be cancelled by conspicuous actions. Behavior just missed the entire fucking mark on this one, I think. The reason that Decisive Strike felt so unfun and bullshitty against killers who were genuinely choosing not to tunnel an unhooked survivor was a number of reasons. A, the people who would then, with their flashlights, still be able to, harass the killer, who would body block and then prevent the killer from going after an unhooked survivor, or, you know, like they take that, maybe they'll take their new 5 second endurance hit, click and click, try to lead him away, but even then the damage has been done. Now you have lost, effectively, that chase with the unhooking survivor, right? What this has done is this has changed nothing about the way that survivors abuse Decisive Strike now, while also simultaneously removing the best case scenario for people who are just actively trying to use Decisive Strike to leave the match instead of harass the killer. Yeah, they completely fucking missed the mark on this one. 100%. The only reason that they will see less of Decisive Strike on their stats now isn't because they had changed their upcoming base game changes, but rather because they've made it effectively worthless during its most pivotal moment. Yeah, that's really disappointing. That's really disappointing. And again, this is all coming from somebody who doesn't use Dead Hard, who doesn't use Decisive Strike. I don't run with any. Like, I'm fucking around with, like, Power Struggle and Flip Flop. Borrowed Time. Much like Decisive Strike, this perk gets much of its popularity by granting counterplay against Camping Killer. Considering a lighter version of Borrowed Time's effect has been added to the Survivor's base kit, we need to update it. It's now going to be 6, 8, and 10 seconds. I think it was 12 seconds before, or 14 seconds. Whatever. I also don't really run Borrowed Time. We'll now extend the duration. Wait, extending it further? Hold on. Hold on. Much like Decisive Strike, considering a lighter version of Borrowed Time's effect has been added to the Survivor's base kit, we need to update the perk accordingly. Borrowed Time will now extend the duration of the endurance by 6, 8, and 10 seconds. So 15 seconds total at tier 3, right? And increase the movement speed bonus duration by 10 seconds for any survivor you unhook. And I think it was 5 seconds previous. So it's 15 seconds of endurance and the move speed, right? Unless I'm misunderstanding that. So it's extending, not making it a total of, it's extending it. While the overall duration of bar time is longer than before. Okay, it is! Alright. We expect that having a lighter version of the base kit will cause the usage rates to drop. Hell no! Are you kidding? This is gonna be awesome! 15 seconds after the unhook, you're out of there. You're gone. You're gone! That's it. I mean, legitimately, I think that it will probably, like, listen, this just became my new favorite meme perk. I absolutely cannot wait to, like, fuck around with Borrowed Time. I think that it will be a sharp uptick of people using Borrowed Time to do, like, silly meme things, right? Like this in conjunction with, I don't even remember the name of the perk because no one runs it. Like the unhook if you stay, or like the fully healed state increases their movement speed by 7% as well. If that stacks, maybe it does, probably doesn't. Oh well. Yeah, no, I'm absolutely going to play with this now. I think that this is actually going to be really fun and silly. Iron Will. This perk allowed skilled players to mind game more effectively in many years by silencing grunts of pain. To address the high usage rate, we're looking at lowering the grunts of pain to 25, 50, and 70%. Additionally, Iron Will is no longer active when exhausted, though it will not cause exhaustion itself. Hold on. I'm thinking about this for a second. I don't really run Iron Will, but yeah, so this is just effectively dead. This is effectively a dead perk now. No, like, once again, no one will run this. No one will run this. Do I believe that? Is that a knee-jerk reaction? I don't think anyone's gonna run this. No one will run this. Yeah, no one's gonna run this anymore. Not when you can run no mither, am I right? Please, DBD gods, just do this one solid for me. Do this one solid for me and make this change not a stupid change. I already hate self-care. I actually have my fingers up on like the bridge of my nose right now and I'm not even looking at the description right now, so give me just 1 second. Make this not a stupid change that is going to cause everyone to run self-care. Please, 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 please. Please. Though self-care has a divisive reputation, it sucks! Among the community, excuse me, pardon me, we were surprised to find that its usage peaks in the highest skill rank matches. Having a consistent and reliable way to heal, it is a powerful tool, yada yada yada. On top of that, self-care increases the efficiency of medkits, allowing survivors to squeeze extra heal. Just use botany knowledge. To reduce its strength, self-care's... Oh no! Oh no! I mean, it's definitely the nerf it deserved, but what if people still run it? Oh god! People, like, they're still gonna run this. They're still gonna run this. Oh my god. Like, listen, I'm letting you all know right now, for those of you that actually watch this video and are alive in my channel right now, the second I see this perk being used against a Legion who has Sloppy Butcher, I'm ending the stream right then and there. I'm letting you know, this is my promise to you. The very first time this happens, self-care against a Legion with Sloppy Butcher, I'm just ending the stream. I'm not even saying goodbye. I'm just literally ending the stream immediately. I need you to know. Oh. Oh. It's a good thing because it's going to discourage its use, but God, they're still gonna use it. God knows they're still gonna use it. Spine Chill. Spine Chill, Spine Chill. This perk excels at alerting survivors when a killer is approaching. In high-skill lobbies, the vault speed becomes its primary draw. There are a few aspects of this perk we'd like to clean up. Let's see it. Will now only activate if the killer has a clear line of sight to the survivor. It's dead. You know what? I'm gonna call it right here. Without reading the rest of this, this is just a dead perk. Guaranteed 100%. This is just a dead perk. This will remove the awkward counterplay where the killer must look away to ensure a stealthy approach. Okay, sure. Next, we'll be adding a short, half-second lingering effect to Spine Chill. This will prevent the perk icon from flickering when the killer looks around and makes the action speed boost more consistent. Okay, sure. Finally, we'll be removing the vault speed. It's dead. It's completely dead. No, this... You will never see this perk used again. No one. In order to make this perk line up more with how we envisioned it, we're gonna make it so that if you can't see the killer, it doesn't actually go off. And then when they show up because you didn't actually see them approaching, it's also not gonna help you with vaults. So it helped you know when the killer was coming, and it helped you with vault speed. So we've just decided to remove those components entirely. And we are now making this, what was it? We are now making this a 9% generator speed buff that only happens when the killer is looking at you, and if they look away, we'll give it to you for another half second. By the way, the generators are 90 seconds now. This is the most dead perk that has ever existed. This perk is less useful than Babysitter. Wow! That's amazing. Like, honestly, what a triumph. Behavior, congratulations on creating a perk that is even less useful than Babysitter. I'm sorry, Guardian. Holy shit. All right, non-meta perk changes. I'm excited about these. I'm excited to see some potential buffs. Ooh, with so many meta perks being changed, we wanted to make sure that everyone had something to look forward to. All right, here, give it to me. Overcharge. Originally, if you kick the generator whenever they would activate it, yeah, maybe it'll actually say, along with its current effect. Okay. Along with its current effects, which if you touch a generator after it's being kicked, it'll provide a difficult skill check. And then, you know, additional regression. Overcharge will now cause a kicked generator's regression to go... What? What? This is powerful. This is so powerful, chat. Will cause a kicked generator's regression speed to grow from 100% to 400% over the course of 30 seconds. Oh my god! Ruin wished it could be this perk! Holy fuck! Oh my goodness! Yeah, chat. This perk is fucking... I think that there's a cooldown on it. Which might be its only saving grace at this point. I can't remember. Fuck, do I need to open up my DVD just so I can find out? Yep. As it turns out, this is gonna be a very fucking strong perk. Okay. And the Dr. Mains rejoiced. Eruption released with fairly safe numbers, but upon reflection, we're comfortable with increasing them. We have upped the generator regression penalty to 10%, and the duration of the incapacitated effect to 25%. Okay, interesting. So originally the numbers behind that were 6%, and then for 16 seconds. It's still a 30-second cooldown, but that's only once the generators actually pop, so that's actually not going to be that big of a deal, I think. Yeah, I mean, that's fine. That's fine. Knockout. Those of you who like to leave survivors on the ground can have a little bit more peace of mind. In addition to its current effect, Knockout will cause dying survivors to crawl 50% slower for 15 seconds and reduce the recovery speed by 25 seconds. Yeah, so Knockout originally was crawl 50% slower for 15 seconds, but okay, so this is also going to reduce the recovery time. Originally it was just they crawled slower, but now it's actually increased it by 25%. Recovery time is 32 seconds, I believe, without Unbreakable, so an extra 25% of that is 8 seconds, so it's just a flat 40% now. So that, I mean, that's fine. Colorophobia. To make healing in the killer's terror radius even more unappealing, Colorophobia will now increase the speed of skill checks by 50% on top of its current effect. This is actually a nerf to this, I think. Right? I genuinely think that this is a nerf. Hold on. Maybe not. Because I thought that this would be the speed of the amount of skill checks, like they come more frequently. But if this is actually going to increase the speed at which the dial moves, is Doctor just getting like a huge buff this entire patch? We'll see. I'll have to save my opinion for what I feel like that's going to be ultimately until I see it. But if it's the speed of the dial, that's going to be really interesting. Dark Devotion. This perk is great for confusing and sneaking up on survivors, but the basic attack requirement makes it unappealing for certain killers. True, Dark Devotion will now activate when the obsession loses a health state. Okay, yeah, just overall buff. I like that. I genuinely like that. I think that's great. Also, that's going to be super spicy for a cross-map hatchet from Huntress. All of a sudden, hit, and then there's the killer's radius. That'll be fun. That'll be fun. Jill. Alright, fixed it. Surge. God damn. Surge allows the killer to regress generator simply by downing a survivor. To make this more consistent punish killer survivor plays, we have removed the cooldown. I think that's fine. I think that a lot of its problem is still its range, so on bigger maps, and there's a lot of them in the game, this is still not going to do that well. But all in all, oh god, Surge combined with Overcharge, that's going to be like the most impossible to break 3-gen of your fucking life. Lethal Pursuer. So you like reading auras, huh? On top of the existing effect, Lethal Pursuer will now extend the duration of all aura reading effects by 2 seconds? Interesting. It's a shame that Barbecue and Chili is dead. Shame that that's a dead-ass perk now. This is interesting. Is it good? No. But I'll still run the hell out of this now. I think that this will be really, really fun. Yeah, it's not good. It's definitely not good. But it's going to make some nice little niche meme builds, which I think will be fun. This perk also shipped with other safer numbers, so we'll be increasing the action speed penalty to 10-13/16%. So with the Scourge Hook, that is actually going to be, when they were unhooked, they were hemorrhaged and mangled, but now the first time a survivor is healed, they suffer a 9% penalty originally to healing and repairing speeds. So this is going to be 16% to healing repairing speeds. But it's only for the first time, so it's still not really going to be that great, in my opinion. Yeah, it is what it is. Another quick one, we increase the action speed penalty to 5.5%. So from 5% max to 5.5. So a maximum of 22%. They are I don't wonder if they're leaning a little bit too heavily into... Well, I mean, I guess it is what it is. They have nerfed a lot of the meta perks, I think, but I think that it's just going to form an entirely new meta of different, very strong perks. But, I mean, we'll see. Scourge Hook Monstrous Shrine. Scourge Hook, you say? Scourge Hook. Oh, by the way, actually, that reminds me. They had, I think they had, what was it? They had Tinkerers at the very top left of their little preview, and everyone was assuming that they were changing the name of it. Nope. They just placed Tinkerer out there for some reason. Long have we waited. Monster Shrine has received a rework. This perk will now convert all basement hooks to Scourge Hooks. Additionally, Scourge Hooks will now grant 20% faster entity progression, but only if the killer is not within 24 meters. Oh no. It's still bad. Oh no, it's still bad. Oh. Oh no, it's still bad. Yep. They have turned into a perk what probably should have been done in the first place, right? Like, exactly the same change they added to Killer last patch, where they can now break boon totems instead of just snuffing them. This is still bad. this is still bad. Poor little guy. Alright, Calm Spirit. In addition to Calm Spirit's current effects, where you're just... Yeah, anyways. You can now open chests and cleanse and bless totems silently, albeit it... Why does behavior do this? They do this thing where they're like, all right, we're gonna give you a little something more, but also we've got to nerf it, right? Like we've got to hella nerf it, because we can't make it too good. Technician, yeah, like no more, yeah, but now we're gonna punish you harder for the skill checks, even though you're quiet. They did to Calm Spirit what they're did to Technician. They're doing to Calm Spirit what they did to Technician. Oh my god. This perk was already dead. No one is... If people run this perk, it's because they're not going to open chest or cleanse totem silently. That's just all. No one will run this perk and think, oh, fuck yes, I can finally be silent as I bless totems. No one cares. No one cares, behavior. Not a singular person cares. This was a perk that was designed on a Friday at 4:50 p.m. and the developer was like, I just gotta get home. Yeah, here, like, it's a buff, but also a nerf. Yeah, worthless. Completely worthless. After months of studying, saboteurs can now identify scourge hooks. Their ores are shown in yellow when a survivor is being carried, using this information to advantage to prevent scourge hooks from being activated. I think that this is interesting. I think that this is going to, disproportionately benefit Swifts. I think that this is absolutely going to be a subtle buff to all Discord using communicating Swift groups. Only one person will have to know what this is, and then the second somebody goes down, they'll say, hey, here's where they're... Oh, this killer got really bad scourge hooks. Everyone loop them over to this side. This perk existing is going to disproportionately be stronger for Swifts. I mean, that's just what it is, flat out. So I don't think that this is a well-designed perk. I think a good designed perk will benefit everyone as a whole without being able to be used to a more advantageous position than what Swifts already do have. So, yeah. Botany knowledge now increases the healing speed efficiency by 50%? Okay. Okay. Yeah, alright. Healing speed and healing efficiency is what I assume they meant by that, not just one. But yeah, that's quite beefy. I genuinely was not expecting that. I was definitely expecting a healing nerf this patch. Okay, yeah, that's... I don't think that's a good idea. I'm gonna say it. I don't think it's a good idea. Healing is already, like, disgusting in Dead by Daylight right now. I think that people heal way too quick. This combined with a green medkit, and can also have now 50% extra on that, so a single green medkit, emergency medkit, with 16 charges now becomes 24 charges, so with a singular brown add-on, you were able to heal yourself twice, on your own, at the same speed that it would take for, like, another person to heal you, I think. Actually, I think it's even faster, right? So 50% plus 50%, so that's 100% healing speed. Yeah. I'm pretty sure that Botany Knowledge just became a healer's paradise. I'll have to do some testing with that. Off the record, this was never run. Upon being unhooked, gain the endurance status effect for 8... What? Upon being unhooked, you gain the borrowed time effect for 80 seconds? This is just Medal of Man! This is just Medal of Man! The endurance effect is lost upon performing a conspicuous action. While this is a lengthy endurance effect, any game progression action will cancel it prematurely, making it... Oh my god! They added the abusive effect of borrowed time as its own effect and buffed the fuck out of it. Oh no! No! Oh, dear sweet behavior. You have no idea what you've done. This is going to be used with Decisive Strike to calamitous effect. Someone was going to say, like, hey, I just got unhooked. Killer, for the next 50 seconds, you're my bitch. They are going to body block in every way imaginable. Any killer that would was like, all right, well, I'll just wait the 5 seconds. All right, doesn't matter, haha, I have this. Or like, all right, well, I'll wait the 15 seconds. Doesn't matter, I have this. This is the beefiest form of borrowed time imaginable. And it doesn't have to be from the rescued person. If you have this, does it... Hold on. Can you do this twice? Can you do this twice? While this is a lengthy endurance, any cancel it, making it purely for evading the killer after being unhooked. Oh no. This isn't in addition to its normal shit, I'd imagine, but this is ridiculously powerful. This is without a doubt, like why even bother adding the endurance effect to begin with when this perk exists? Holy shit. That's brutal. That's absolutely brutal. This is going to be one of those perks that in most games will not be abused. But because this perk now, I bet, how much would I want to bet? I'll eat my mouse pad if they do not end up running the numbers back on this. Like, they're absolutely gonna pull this one back, guaranteed. So use it while you can. Oh my god. This Scott Jund is going to be so unhappy. This perk is great for escaping a chase, but the effect quickly runs out. We're giving survivors a way to recharge Lucky Break. Each second spent healing another survivor increases Lucky Break's duration by 1 second. Total time cannot exceed its starting duration. Run this with Autodidact. Run it with Autodidact. It's going to be great. Holy shit. Pharmacy. Pharmacy used to guarantee an emergency medkit the first time you search a chest, which you'd either hope nobody takes before you need it or hide in a far-off corner like a medkit goblin. Now Pharmacy will activate whenever you're injured, guaranteeing an emergency medkit when you search a chest. This effect can happen multiple times in one trial. Good luck stealing my medkit now, Meg. I don't understand. Hope nobody takes... Now Pharmacy will activate whenever you're injured when you search a chest. Why? I'm so confused. Which you'd hope nobody takes before you need it. This doesn't prevent them from opening the chest in the first place. Am I wrong? Like, once the chest is open, like, this perk is worthless. So why even bother adding this in here? I don't know. This seems like a nothing. Like, why add this at all? I mean, I guess you could do this to bring a beefy medkit and use, or like hope that you get a beefy medkit from the chest, and then for your next chest guarantees a medkit. I'm confused as to why that exists. Anyways. In addition to hiding... Alright, Soul Survivor. In addition to hiding your aura, Soul Survivor will now increase your generator repair speed by 75% and your exit gate and hatch action speed by 50%. These effects are only active when you're the last survivor standing. Remember when I said they buffed Buckle Up so that it's worthless, but now for longer? Awesome, like, congratulations! Now this perk is worthless, but better at being worthless. I mean, this is just bad. It's bad. Like, the match is over. The match is over. Like, all right, you're gonna work on the all right, the one. This is such a weird design philosophy. With this perk, you are assuming that you are going to lose the match and that everyone will die, and the only thing that this will be useful for is pairing it with Wake Up so that you can open up the gate very, very quickly and get out. And even then, that's assuming that you don't have an abysmal gate spawn. This is still very, 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 very bad. Distortion. For those of you who like to stay hidden, we've added a way to regain distortion tokens. Gain 1 token every 30 seconds spent within the killer's terror radius. Congratulations. Buckle up. Now it's worthless, but faster. It's just bad. In addition to Lightweight's existing effects, your scratch marks will be more sporadic. Lightweight, by the way, like your scratch marks disappear 3 seconds faster. Making it hard to track. Your scratch marks will also fade 3 seconds sooner, up from 3 to... Did they get this backwards? I don't understand. Hold on. Lightweight. Your scratch marks stay visible 3 seconds less than normal. They got this backwards. Okay. So this is supposed to be 3, 4, 5 instead of 1, 2, 3. They don't... I'm telling you, they don't double... 4:50 p.m. on a Friday. They don't double check this shit. Yeah, anyways. Yeah, so now it's 5 seconds faster, which actually is not bad, but it's still not good. Why run this when you can run Lucky Break? So, Deja Vu. To help survivors power the 3 closest generator, Deja Vu will now grant a 5% repair speed bonus to the revealed generators. I think that's a mistake. Well, I guess they increased the amount of time the generators are now, so I guess it's fine. I mean, I guess it's fine. It's just like, on a 90-second generator, 5% repair speed is going to give you 4.5 seconds. So it's just going to be 85.5 seconds on a generator now. And then stacked, yeah, I mean, this is okay. Personally, I liked Deja Vu to begin with. No One Left Behind. Beyond its current effects, No One Left Behind will grant a 7% movement speed boost to any survivors you unhook. Additionally, the perk now activates when the gates are powered rather than opened. I actually think that's really all that they needed. That's actually what That's actually what I predicted they would do. So the 7% movement speed boost, I think that's just a nice little bonus. Yeah. Dark Sense. We've changed the way Dark Sense works. When a generator is powered, Dark Sense activates. The next time the killer comes within 24 meters of you, their aura is revealed for 10 seconds. Okay. That's okay. Yeah, I mean, I don't have any complaints about that. I actually think that that's quite decent. It's not good, but it's decent. I still don't think it's really going to be used, but yeah. Tenacity. In addition to its current effects, Tenacity now reduces your grunts of pain by 75% while in the dying state. Combined with the increased crawling speed, the perk will now be much more effective at crawling away from the killer. Sure. I mean, sure, like, they'll still be able to follow blood. Yeah, a nice little thing. It already had a niche. Before the buffs, so this just makes it slightly better. Hope. Hope is great for those who like to make late-game saves, but the limited duration can cause it to expire at an inconvenient time. Since this perk is only useful at the end of the match, we've removed the duration entirely. You know? Pretty good. My thought was that they were going to keep the 120 seconds, but they would pause the duration whenever you were on hook. In the same way that Lucky Break worked. So this is... I think that this will actually be a pretty decent perk now. Will it see use? I think so, actually. I think that this will actually genuinely increase the amount of people running it. Overzealous. In its current state, cleansing a totem grants you a repair speed bonus of 6, 7, 8%. Now that bonus doubles if you cleanse a hex totem? 16%? God damn. Okay. Yeah, that's good. It's not great, but it's good. Yeah, it's like 14, 15 seconds off of a generator. Sure. We're gonna live forever. Yep, here's what I thought. We're removing... Much like barbecue and chili, this perk features a massive blood point bonus. Massive. We do not want blood points to dictate which perks you use. This change will be released at the same time, which is... Yeah, so... Yeah, this perk is hella dead now. Remember the perk that I said was dead and buried before? Now this one is completely fucking dead. The only thing that this perk does now is heal people faster while they're on the ground. This perk, rip in pieces, rip in pepperoni, dead. We realize the following changes. A new meta will surely rise. We'll be closely monitoring the performance of each updated perk to ensure that none fall too far. Thank you very much. I'm receiving text messages about this update already. Here's my TLDR, chat. The new buffs, I think that Off the Record is going to be the most busted of them. I think that Saboteur is going to benefit the Swifts the most. I think that Overcharge is actually going to be disgusting. It's going to be filthy. It's going to be nasty. I genuinely think that Overcharge is going to be the big one. Like the big used a lot perk right now. But you do have to kick generators. But generators actually receive a little bit of a bonus for kicking them now. Spine Chill is completely fucked. Self-care is still going to ruin my life. I think that a lot of the meta perk changes are actually pretty decent. Probably most so Noed. I think that change is actually pretty decent. And I think that Pop Goes the Weasel actually became slightly stronger. Yeah, no, cool. I know this was a little bit of a longer video, but I hope you guys enjoyed it. And if you want more content like this, let me know, and I will continue posting some stuff up on YouTube for you. Other than that, feel free to check me out at twitch.tv/SnapReflex, so I'll have all the information and stuff in the description below, and I'll see you guys in the fog, I guess.